Thiago Monteiro. And representing China, it's Zhizhen.
His male player to play in the Wimbledon main draw, first to crack top 100 and first to make the quarterfinals of a Masters 1000. He did that in Madrid. And he comes from sporting pedigree, and he is one talented individual. Speaking of talented individuals, I've got one sitting alongside me. He was what I call a proper player, and just a great guy all around. Mark Philippoussis, welcome, Flip.
What a pleasure. I mean, your introductions, there's no one better to work next to.
I've got Fitzy down courtside. I don't know how to introduce Fitzy. It's just one of the all-time great Aussies. Fitzy, good evening.
Oh, I miss you guys. I'm sitting down here on my lonesome. I wish I could be with the both of you, but this will do. Not a bad spot next to the court, and perfect conditions. Gee, we had to wait a long time, didn't we? That was dramatic, that ladies singles.
Yeah, it certainly was, and highly entertaining. We'll be checking in with Fitzy, who's courtside for the duration of this one. But right now, let's listen into the chair umpire, Richard Haig.
Can you help us with the coin toss? So then, gentlemen, I think you saw the previous match. Just remember, we have the automatic shot clock, 25 seconds. Towel boxes you have in each corner. The ball kids can't help you with the towels, so you have to, they cannot. So you can put the towel here, and then here there is a, yeah, there is a person there, they can bring it in a box. So it's the ball kids or who is it? It's a person, they're going to sit in the corner with the blue shirts, and they bring you a box.
So they're going to bring only the towels?
In a box.
Okay, okay.
That's up to you. So it's easier, maybe it's easier if you go to that side, but up to you. If you really want that one, then they can bring it. Just takes a little bit more time. Yeah. And then we have automatic line calling, so no challenges. They'll show the small ones on the screen, okay? I think we had a couple of problems, but hopefully it should be fixed now. Any questions about anything? Okay, so afterwards a photo facing that way. So would you like heads or tails? Tails is AO, okay, thank you. Go for it. No, that's okay, that's okay. You want to do it again? Okay, do it again.
Not happy with the first one.
Okay, so, yeah. Going to receive? You're going to say, so a photo, please. I can hold that one. So just turn around that way. Just do a photo of that one.
Our little mascot felt that his first flip was an unforced error. Wanted to have another go.
You know what? He went straight for it. I love that. He said, no, that's not good enough. I know I can do better.
Brilliant. Well, this one is teed up nicely. These two were just watching in the Players' Lounge. We watched them both warm up on several occasions, getting ready to play. And it looked like Haddad Maia might put Brazil out in front, but it just came unstuck. So it's up to Thiago Monteiro, currently ranked 109, to reduce the arrears. Played some of his best tennis earlier on in the season, making it to the third round of a Masters 1000 for the first time in Madrid, and of course bettering that the following week in Rome. And incidentally, where he ran up against the man that he faces today, and ended up losing to Zhang in straight sets. This guy's a talented individual, and he's the same age, I'll tell you a quick story, as Daniil Medvedev. And he spent a year at the same academy where Jean-René Lisnard coaches at down in Nice at the elite tennis center there where Medvedev was for many years. And Jean-René was telling me this guy's more talented in the early days than Medvedev. He was an incredible ball striker, strength-wise, but didn't quite have the discipline. He was a lot more immature and felt there was so much upside, but it's taken him a while to get there, Flip.
I mean, he's a very clean hitter of the ball. Like you said, incredibly talented and absolute joy to watch. So I'm really looking forward to this match tonight.
Someone who's been ranked as high as 31, and that came this year in July. But really burst onto the scene last year in Madrid. I was there, and I watched him win 3 matches in a row, 7-6 in the third. Mark, he beat Chapeau, he beat Norrie, and he beat Taylor Fritz. And that's pretty impressive given the quality of the opposition. Now, these guys have played once this year. I mentioned it was on the clay in Rome. And Zhang came out on top. Of course, for him, that was a big result. Making it through to the quarterfinals of a Masters 1000 for the first time in his career.
3 tie-break sets. Team China won the toss and chose to
Team Brazil
receive.
captain. Can't miss them. Was a very good player as well. Was Wu Di. Small in stature, but boy, did he give the ball a good smack. Just showed some very calm demeanor in the previous match. It is evening 1 of the United Cup, season 3. Of course, Perth and Sydney, the host cities for the round-robin stages before everybody heads over to Perth for the finals weekend.
30 seconds.
What a fantastic host Perth has been over the years. Good crowd in tonight.
Great crowd. I mean, the energy in that last women's match was just out of control, and just the amount of support of Chinese flags that I see in this stadium is incredibly impressive, and did they help their player get through that match?
Monteiro was a top junior. Not always easy to make that transition from being a top junior to being a top pro. It's taken a while. But formalities have been done. The warm-up is out of the way, and it's time to get your game face on. Of course, that pad over there, the team captains can look at that for any information they need, or statistics, analysis.
Zhizhen, representing Team China to serve. Ready? Play.
China, remember, with a 1-match lead. For those who haven't seen Zhang play, what do we need to look out for, Mark?
mean, Zhang is definitely a shot maker, and especially on that forehand side, it's a huge weapon of his.
49.
Not a bad serve as well. Not that traditional kind of serve you see. But it works really well.
Yeah, and that was the case when they played on the clay in Rome. Served 10 aces against Monteiro. And this forehand was outstanding. In particular, his forehand cross-court. He hits that thing so well. Couple that with the inside in. And that quadrant of the court is something he did well against Monteiro when they played on the Terra Batu. And Fitzy, what about the conditions down courtside there?
I think they're perfect. Robbie, no excuses there for either player. It's very still, nice temperature, cool. When the roof's open at night, it adds to the atmosphere, I think. But no excuses for either end here.
The win predictor has got Zhang as the favourite, 61-39. Understandably so, you'd think on a hard court. It just exaggerates his chances of getting the win. You add that to the fact that he has won the one previous meeting. I think he's used the full dimensions of the court there.
Yeah, Monteiro's been around for a while, and he's not going to be overwhelmed by the situation. His team's down 1-love, but you know he's a very solid player and moves the ball around incredibly well.
Got a wild card early on in the year in Rio. Made the most of it, made the quarterfinals there, losing to Sebastian Baez. And you have a look at his profile on the season where he's had some of his best results when playing tournaments. Actually had most of his success on clay. Talking specifically about tour level for the year, 13 wins, 13 losses at ATP tour level.
Team Brazil.
That's the forehand you want to make Zhang hit.
1 game.
Not as good going down the line as what he is cross-court or inside in. We'll keep an eye on that pattern of play, Mark. Comes from a sports family in Shanghai. Dad played a bit of football. Mum was a member of the Shanghai shooting sports team. It runs in the genes. a work of art right there.
That was a pretty point. Look at that racket head speed on that forehand. Nice height over the net and just great hands.
He's a big boy. 6'4", 1m93. Broad in his shoulders, strong in his back.
13-15. Let's first.
Small margin for error at the moment on the forehand of Thiago's than there is on Zhang's. He tends to, I mean, he flattens it out. It is his weapon, flipper, isn't it? But so he makes a few errors on that side too, and there's a bit of a flatter trajectory at the moment. Catching the tape.
What do you make of that serve?
Look, like I said, it's not your typical serve, but he finishes beautifully. He's pushing up and his body weight lands in. Great racket head all the way through. Uses his body weight beautifully. A strong guy, like I said, 6'4", and he's definitely using 100% of that frame in that serve.
And he's also given China the lead. 3 games played. They lead 2-1. A few running repairs. I've played with contacts. I've had LASIK eye surgery. And you always need a couple of saline drops just to keep those eyes moisturized. You ever play with contacts more?
I actually had laser surgery on my eyes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I did earlier on. When was it? When I had my first knee surgery, I was like, you know, might as well two things at once. I'm out, and scary, but yeah, it worked. But no, I never ended up playing. I tried to, I couldn't do it, and that's when I ended up having laser surgery.
was earlier this year in Rio. Monteiro came up against Carlos Alcaraz, and he must have felt like he'd shot Bambi, because second point of the match, Alcaraz twists his ankle and has to retire after the second game. The Brazilians wanted to see him win, but also wanted to see a lot more of Alcaraz.
Yeah, never want to see it that way, right?
Once again, you can see how heavy the forehand is to that part of the court.
Love 14.
Accuracy, depth. The upshot of that forehand is 3 break points.
Team China.
Well, that was a gift.
Team China leads.
4 unforced errors.
'Tis the season, though. Oh, I think it's worth going down to John Fitzgerald, because he's got a special guest alongside him.
Sun Feijing here with me, Robbie, and he's looking pretty confident. I think you must be happy with where your team is at right now.
Yeah, I mean for us it's like we already win the first singles, so we have 1 point up. So let's see. I'm pretty confident with him.
Yeah, there's a big difference, isn't there, between being up one match and down. So these boys played in Rome earlier in the year on a clay court, and your man Zhang had a win in that one, so he prefers the hard court?
Yeah, I think he prefers the hard court. Also, he can do more on the hard court, I think. So, I mean, for him also, he's a little bit nervous, but we trust him. Yeah.
He has a lot more experience now, though, doesn't he? He's really maturing as he gets older, getting better as he gets older. And I think this year he's a better player than he was 12 months ago when we saw him here in Perth.
Yeah, especially this year, he did a lot of great matches. Yeah, so I think in his mental heart, everything is proved a lot. So big step, I think, for him this year.
Great to see. Thank you, Sun.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
15-30.
I think, Mark, sometimes we think these good players are immune to nerves and immune to pressure. It's definitely not the case, is it?
No, everyone feels it, and I think the difference is that even with those nerves, that they do what they have to do, and you know, confidence comes in, and just the way they deal with the situation. But right now, Zhang is looking very comfortable. Also, just the way he's carrying himself around the court is nice and relaxed. You know, it's one thing to have the one love lead. He's great, but he's just hitting the ball well. First serve percentage at 80%. My goodness.
Great stuff, that.
You know, he's not exactly rolling in. That last one was at 211 kilometers an hour. So he's going after it.
elevation sensation from Zhang.
Advantage, Team China.
He got back for that smash well, didn't he?
Oh, that is serious athleticism, Flip. Hey, this reminds me a little bit of you, maybe. Look at that. He's a big man, and that was magnificent. Great athleticism. Super smash.
Game, Team China.
Oh, that's been the cornerstone of his game so far.
Lead 4 games to 1.
A lot of meaningful first serves has helped give Team China a 4-1 lead. Oh, so many beautiful beaches in and around Perth, and Cottesloe and Scarborough are 2 of them. I think this is Alicia Moloch territory, if memory serves. Great for swimming. The hosts the start of the Rock Nest swim. Scarborough, of course, good for surfing. That'll be our haunt, Mark. Catch a couple of waves and lounge in the sun on magnificent white sands. I'm always getting it in the ear from Matt Ebden about how great the beaches are in Perth. I think the guy's going to be the next tourism minister for the area. It's been a good start.
Time.
You might have seen just center of the shot there. Hinson Liu, of course, the former player, part of Team China. Randy Liu, he was always affectionately known. He was the challenger king back in the day.
Monteiro needs to get back on track here after that last service game. 4-on-4 stare is costing him that game. All of a sudden down 1-4. So first serve in. He needs a quick game here just to get that confidence going and to stop that momentum that Zhang has created. It's really good racket hit acceleration from that early preparation. Got under that beautifully. A lot of shape on the ball. Bouncing away from his opponent. This is definitely the game that Monteiro needed here. Quick 40-love lead. That's his second ace. And exactly the same spot as before. Flat one out wide, which is not easy to hit for a lefty on the deuce side.
Game, Team Brazil. Team China lead 4 games to 2.
So doing a good job of just hanging in there is Monteiro. So a bit of a shaky start from him. Always going to be a few nerves. The key is trying to unlock the serve. Last game with the old balls. There's his coach on tour, Randy Liu, in the black hats. Of course, quarterfinalist at Wimbledon back in 2010. Remember that epic against Andy Roddick, who he beat 9-7 in the 5th. A couple of tiebreakers in there as well.
Zhang continuing to be impressive on that first serve. He's up to 86%. That's his 7th ace for the set. Doesn't really get any cleaner than that, does it, Robbie?
Game, Team China. New balls, please. Team China lead 5
I
games
think
to 2.
you would have a good idea of what that feels like. Dominant on serve to leave 5-2. Head is nice and still when he makes contact with the ball. There's the overhead that we were talking about. Of course, this man in picture is the top-ranked Chinese male player at 45, but Jerry Shang, the lefty, just 19 years of age, is hot on his heels, Mark.
Yeah, he's a player. He's someone to look out for. I think it could be a big year for him,
Yeah.
2025.
No kidding. He's currently ranked 50, and then Bu, of course, also 22 years young, is ranked at 65. So a nice trio of Chinese men's players doing well in the singles.
It's taken a while, hasn't it, gentlemen, because the ladies from China have been very strong for a long period of time, and they've really had the stars on that side of the game. So it's taken a while for the men to catch up there, but they're coming, aren't they?
15.
It's a serve that seared the line. Good chunk of it.
Man, did he step into that one?
Yeah, I'm sitting laterally right across from him there, Mark, and you're dead right. He really transferred his weight beautifully here, and when you transfer that weight, it helps with the power, doesn't it? He rocketed that backhand across.
Looks effortless as well, Fitzy.
Yeah. Team Brazil. Team China lead 5 games to 3.
Okay. A little bit of additional pressure when you step up to the line to try and serve out a set. Can he continue to be as effective behind the serve as what he has been for the last 28 minutes?
That's the one he's going to want back. Not too many times has he had an opportunity to step into a second serve. It's going to make him play.
Yeah, and how much easier is it to step up to the line there, Fitzy, at 30 love, at 15 love versus love 15?
Yeah, he missed an opportunity, didn't he, Monteiro, that first point. And when you're struggling to stay in a set, you've got to find the right time to make those balls.
40
And it made it easy, didn't it? Just helped Zhang loosen his shoulders up here.
And the upshot of that, 3 set points. This guy's got some horsepower, but he's also got some deft touch. And it's a love hold for Team China. And they have bagged the opening set in exactly half an hour, 6-3. It's almost perfect. It's almost like playing indoors here.
Love 15.
If you're Monteiro, how are you looking at the situation?
Look, I think he's just got to come across and just think of it. Okay, I had that one bad service game. You know, besides that, you know, his other service game's pretty solid. I mean, he's hitting the ball well. He's not serving badly, but just lost focus for that one game, and that cost it in the set. So he should be thinking, okay, let's just hold on to that serve, and hopefully he can get a chance to look at those second serves. When he does, he's got to make him play. can't afford to be making those unforced errors on his service games, and because that pressure's just sort of keep on building. And that will not help. It was tough from this angle, but looks like his head just collapsed on contact, Fitzy.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're down a break in the first and you're then serving for a couple of games afterwards, Mark, there's less pressure because you're already down that break. This is a big game, and he's played it like he's a little bit nervous in this one. More to lose, I think, if he goes down a break early here in this second set, then there'll be a little bit of writing starting to appear on the wall.
Not far away, but just a few errors, aren't there? Not a lot of time there. Zhang's making him rush a little bit.
Yeah, not ideal when you found it so hard to deal with the Zhang serve.
I mean, his ground strokes are heavy, Zhang. You know, he makes a few errors himself, but he really does impose himself in the rally. And when he gets a ball to hit, he doesn't hold back. So I feel like Monteiro is being rushed a little bit here on a hard court.
You know what Zhang did really well too? Like you said, he's stepping in and letting go on those shots, but he's also did a good job of getting some higher ones. It's a good look at Zhang's serve. Only losing 3 points on the first serve in that first set.
Yeah, and those pulsating blue balls that you see there, those are the 8 aces.
Well, one thing Monteiro doesn't have to worry about looking at that is that there's not many going to come at his body. He's going for the lines on either side. But at the moment, you know, with that percentage so high, it's tough.
If you're continuing to find those lines with that high percentage of first serves, there's no reason to go to the body, right?
That's why Robbie and I always served at the body. When you have a cream puff, you've got to go anywhere you can to win the point.
Your serve was a lot better than mine, Fitzy, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that really worries me if that's the case.
I was just going to say, come on, Robbie, don't sell yourself, stay short.
It was that bad.
Gee, he's got good rhythm going here, though. He
Yes,
looks so relaxed. Sun Weixing was saying when we interviewed him after the fourth game that Zhang was a little nervous coming into this, but it made a big difference, I think, when his partner won. And right now, he looks like he has zero nerves. He looks relaxed, moving well, swinging freely.
And not only is he serving big and accurately, he's averaging 208 kilometers an hour with that first serve. So that one was just under the average, not by much. Serving big and accurately, and he's coupling it beautifully with some meaningful forehands. So far, so good.
watching him from here, from this angle, he's just reading the ball so well and early. The way it's coming off his racket, it looks like he's kind of warming up still. You know, it's just effortless power, great shape on the ball, playing within himself. Been fantastic to watch.
Robbie, I know you've been an advocate for his forehand across court, the inside-in forehand we call it, which goes to the left-hander's backhand, and he does hit that with great spin and loop and accuracy, doesn't he? And he's got the left-hander stretching wide and then having to change direction. He's just dominating. He's got the Brazilian on the back foot.
Then he's stealing those counter points.
That's just throwing some salt on the wound, isn't it? We've been talking about his forehand, how deadly he is, but I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with that backhand cross-court as well tonight. Seeing it and hitting it so well.
You know, last year here, I remember his forehand sometimes looked a little bit disjointed, I thought, and he gave away a few more free points than we've seen tonight anyway. And the technique, I'm just wondering if it's improved a bit from last year, because it seems smoother to me.
Top-tier tennis. Great athleticism. And a set and a double break. Sounds really good for Team China. Fitzy highlighted the facts as well, Flip, that he loves that forehand cross court as well as inside in, and it's a nice graphic just to illustrate to the fans watching at home.
Yeah, this is a great to see where he obviously loves that forehand cross court, as you mentioned, but he's also playing against a lefty, which you want to attack as well, but that's his natural shot. But he is mixing it up, you know, he's moving it around the court nicely, but he's just hitting the ball so beautifully.
Yeah, forehand and serve. He's a big boy. I think this is what you're seeing in the modern day tennis player. You get guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", that are just such good movers. So evening one of the United Cup 2024-25. A brilliant one earlier today for Team Kazakhstan. That one going down to the wire in the mixed doubles. Helena Rybakina was rock solid when it mattered most in the mixed. Alongside Alex Shevchenko, he managed to sneak it out against the Spaniards 10-7 to give them the win. And if you weren't with us earlier, the women's match was otherworldly here. 3 hours and 22 minutes of high-octane tennis. Team China getting the W. Both players cramping Beatrice Haddad-Maia. Jing Zhugao. Zhao just hanging in there long enough. Plenty of drama. And Fitzy, you're right, we're seeing the best of this guy's forehand this evening, but against better players. You spoke about the trajectory of the forehand. Against better players, players who can rush him, he does leak a few more errors off that side, and we did see it last year. We saw it against Novak when they played first up. Same against Hubi Hurkacz, who beat him in straight sets. But he settled into his first match this year. He's been allowed to settle into it a lot more comfortably than what he was against the world #1 12 months ago.
Well, I think there's always a pecking order, isn't there? And it's just a natural way of the rankings. And you know, he sits, you know, in the middle at the moment of the top 100. But I think he's a little better than that. I really do. Yes, he's rushing the opposition tonight against the greater players or the great players of the world. Maybe it'll be a little different. But he's been impressive here because Monteiro is no slouch. He can play, and he's being made to look like he's rushing all the time, which is an indication of the difference in standard.
Is that, against the top players, is that a belief thing for Zhang? Because if you're looking at it as a tennis player and the weapons he has and the way he moves and the way he hits the ball, even if you were playing the top 10 players, you're thinking, okay, this guy's got a chance. So is that a belief thing? Is it a confidence thing that I would imagine a match like tonight will help him?
Possibly. I mean, his teammate Sun Feijing suggested he was a little nervous. Maybe he is still at 28 years of age getting full belief in what his ability is. But Monteiro's a good player, and obviously Triple Z is not intimidated at all here. He believes he's going to win this, and he looks so confident. So, look, he's had wins over big players. He can do it. I guess it may be a belief thing, but gee, I tell you what, when you sit on the side of the court and you watch him play here, you think he could go a long way in a couple of major tournaments, you would think. I also think it's a match-up thing, Mark. You know, Monteiro's got a predominantly baseline game, and a lot of the time you know what he's going to do, and I don't think that intimidates Zhang at all. I mean, a bit more variety might upset him a little bit, but at the moment he's just getting the same ball all the time, and it's like shelling peas, really.
For me, you know, the serve is such an incredibly vital part of the game. And when you're serving, you know, when you know he's got the rhythm he has, and if he's serving in 70s, or, I mean, now he's in that, 70, almost 80%. But and you're thinking he should be holding serve with that serve and his backup of his ground strokes, then anything can happen no matter who he plays.
You know, I'm not sure if he shortened his swing a little bit, but it seems smoother, more compact on the forehand wing than it did 12 months ago to me, and he's making less errors off that side in this match anyway.
I was going to ask you if you felt like he's changed anything technically. I think he might be, look at a touch more compact. I wonder if that's just me, but he's certainly hitting it well.
Game, Team China.
Monteiro, not so much off
Team
his
China
forehand.
5 games to love.
And this one is getting away from the Brazilian pretty quickly because Zhang has been almost faultless. He leads 5-love. Well, why don't we head to the Kimberleys? Of course, Kimberley spreads over Australia's entire northwestern corner. And this region has it all. So I'm told, luxury escapes. You've got beautiful mangroves, stunning coastlines, pearl farms. If you like those, sport for choice. So many beautiful areas in Western Australia. That's where we are at the RAC Arena. Not a lot to say from Team Brazil. Well, we're speaking about the maturing of Zhang, and John Fitzgerald touched on it, and you just have to look back at his year-end ranking. 2021, it was 161. The year after, 98. 2023, 57. This year, 47. Some players just mature at different rates than others. He's had a career high ranking earlier this season. And he's serving here for the win for Team China.
First serve. Not 15.
Of course, I haven't mentioned that final that he made in Guangzhou in September. It was to Marin Cilic eventually. Still yet to win a tour level title. Women's first set, 20 minutes longer than this match.
14-15.
Everything going Zhang's way this evening. He has been ruthlessly efficient. He's arrived at match point.
Match, Team China.
As regal today as Monteiro was ragged, and he gets the win not only for himself but for Team China. A 6-3, 6-love beatdown of Thiago Monteiro in just under an hour. That was some highly impressive ball striking from Zhang.
Hey, Robbie, that was, like you said, one word described that match was impressive. And what was